What the? Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Somebody left Mark's blankie outside? There's gonna be hell to pay.
What the happened here? The weld broke.
During this job, Mark suddenly discovered the cargo had been damaged. After inspecting it, he realized the problem was serious. He had no choice but to stop and figure out a solution. It all started when Mark saw a new job online. The task was to deliver 6 uniquely shaped sculptures from Minnesota to Arkansas safely. The client explained the pieces were for an art exhibition, so nothing could go wrong during transport, otherwise the hauler would get no payment. On top of that, the client stressed the exhibition was in 2 days, so the driver had to deliver the cargo on time. This was a tough challenge for any driver, but Mark had over a decade of experience. He was confident he could get it done. After thinking it over, Mark took the job for $7,800. He quickly gathered his gear and headed to the pickup. The trip went smoothly, and he arrived in no time. The client was already waiting by the road. When he saw Mark, he greeted him warmly. After a quick chat, the client showed Mark the sculptures to be shipped. The yard held over 100 large sculptures, and Mark immediately sensed something was off. When he saw the ones he was actually hauling, Mark felt hopeless. They were far bigger than he expected, way too heavy for just him and the client to move. Seeing Mark's hesitation, the client said he'd already hired extra help, and also brought in a forklift. Mark breathed a huge sigh of relief. Once ready, Mark directed the crew to load the sculptures. They worked well together, and the loading went smoothly. Just as Mark thought everything would stay on track, disaster struck. A worker mishandled the forklift, and the sculptures crashed into each other. Mark jumped in alarm, and quickly checked for damage. It didn't look too bad, but Mark was much more careful for the rest of the loading. Luckily, they got all the cargo safely onto the truck. Mark secured everything tightly to prevent damage on the road. After a final check, he hit the road. The drive was uneventful until halfway. Mark stopped to inspect the load as usual, but this time, he found a real problem. Whether from poor padding or rough roads, a welded section had completely snapped. If the client saw this, he'd definitely withhold payment. Mark had no choice but to drive quickly and find help from a friend. But before he could reach him, something else went wrong.